Hey, what's up, everyone? What's my story today? Well, you might have seen my other video where I talked about that new thing that my wife and I started doing, which is reading together in the morning. And that reading corner is just right behind me, right here. And so what we do is we read about 15 minutes a piece, and then we discuss what we read and kind of break it down and just see, what we found, like what our understanding of that was, and we try to discuss it and clarify. If we don't understand it, then maybe the other person will know a bit more about it and explain it. Anyhow, I didn't tell you what book we were reading, but I'm going to tell you today. The book we're reading today is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, you may have heard of this book. It's a personal development book, but it was written way back in the 1930s. So it's not something that is new and trendy right now, but it is a very popular book, and a lot of famous people have read it and actually swear by the lessons that come out of this book. So what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to summarize the first chapter for you guys very briefly, but just try to pull out the key takeaways. So the chapter starts off with a person named Edwin C. Barnes. And so you picture this guy, Edwin C. Barnes. He's a guy with no money, no connections, no education. But this guy actually thought himself into a partnership with Thomas Edison, the famous inventor. And so now, picture this. So this guy, Edwin C. Barnes, he has no money, but he's got to figure out how to get over to see Barnes. To get to see Edison. He's got to get in front of him. And he can't even afford a train ticket to do it. And so instead of thinking about, how am I going to do it? Maybe I'll have to wait and get a job and get some money. This guy just jumped on a freight train and basically rode on this freight train, essentially, I think, illegally, but whatever. He got there. He needed to get to this place because he had a desire to do it. So he got in front of Edison. And you can just imagine what somebody would look like who was riding in a freight train for days and weeks on end. So anyway, he shows up there and he presents himself to Edison and says, I want to have a partnership with you. Or I know, I will be a partner. I will be your business partner. And Edison is probably just looking at him like, okay, who is this guy? He just looks like a regular tramp to me. But later on in the years, when they talk to Edison about his first meeting with Barnes, Edison says he didn't really look like anything special, but there was something in his eyes that really made him think, this guy might have something. And so he took him on. But, Barnes, it didn't end right there and everything was great. Barnes was just working basic jobs, very simple stuff, just being around Edison. That's what he wanted. But the key thing here is that Barnes didn't say, I want to work with Edison or I want to have a partnership with Edison. He said that he would. And there's a key difference there. By just saying that you would do something rather than you just want something, there's a definiteness of purpose in what he's saying. One important thing to note is that Barnes didn't let his lack of resources stop him. His purpose was stronger than his excuses, and that's what kept pushing him forward. So according to the story, it took about 5 years before Barnes actually got his big break. And what that was Edison had just come up with a brand new invention. And he had talked to his other workers and asked them if they would help him sell it. And none of them thought it was going to sell, and they had no faith in the product. But Barnes saw this as a golden opportunity, so he told Edison, yeah, I can sell this thing for you. Let me do it. So Edison said, okay, go for it. And so Barnes ended up selling so many of these units that Edison made him a partner. And they even had a famous saying, created by Edison and installed by Barnes. So how about that? Here's the real secret to chapter 1. Every achievement starts off as an idea. But when you pair that idea with faith, desire and persistence, there's no telling where that will take you. Well, there you have it, guys. Chapter 1's done. What did you think of it? Good? You want to continue to chapter 2? Alright. Well, that's all I'm going to do for tonight. But you guys have yourself a great night. Love y'all. And we'll see you in the next chapter. Don't forget to like and subscribe though as well. Take care.